Hello, boys and girls. So hopefully someone in your family had picked up one of the packets that were at the front of the school because you will need some of the things in there today for science. So if you can please go get that envelope, and if you would take everything out, you'd notice there are three separate things. There's a social studies packet that's stapled, that's all about maps. Then we have an empty composition book with the spiral bound edge there in the middle. That's going to be your science notebook. And then we have a packet of science papers on the right hand side. So what I'd like you to do with all of these things is first take the stapled packet of maps and put them in your red folder. So please, if you don't have your red folder, go get it and put those right in there so you'll have them handy when we need them. After you've completed that, let's have you put your name on the empty notebook that was sent home in that envelope, and also put the subject. This is going to be our science notebook. Okay, once you've done that, then you can put that inside your green folder and also put the stack of science papers that came home in that envelope in the green folder. So you'll have your items ready to go where you will be able to find them easily. All right. So now you're ready to get started for today's science lesson. It's all about safety and lab safety when conducting experiments. I'd like you to take out the first page that's on the right hand side. It looks like this. It says Science Safety up here at the top. So please take that paper out right now, and please make sure you have a pencil because you're going to be filling in all the blank lines as we go through the slideshow. So please go get a pencil if you don't already have one. So here's our show all about science safety. So remember, science is a lot of fun, but we must remember to stay safe during investigations. Investigations can be things like experiments. There are some things we always do before, during, and after an investigation. Let's take a look. Before we start an investigation, it's super important to listen to all teacher directions. So my friends, if you've noticed, the very first line says listen to all teacher. You're going to write in the word directions, okay? Don't worry, I will show the slide that has all the answers on it after we get finished with this slide, just in case you're not sure. Read all directions before beginning your investigation. That's super important. Other than the materials you need, the things you'll be working with, keep the floor and table clear. Be sure you know where safety materials are. Okay, so on your paper, we were filling out the top section that says before an investigation. You need to write the word directions, listen to all teacher directions. Directions again, read all directions before beginning. Keep the floor and table clear, and safety, know where the safety materials are. Now, if I'm going too fast and you can't write these down, please press the pause button in this video so it will show the screen for you. Okay, let's go to the next section down here where it says during an investigation. Let's learn about that. When we are doing investigations, you want to work carefully with your materials. Tell your teacher about any accidents. Please don't be upset. Don't feel like the teacher's going to get mad and yell at you. It's super important to tell the teacher about the accident so we can clean up any spills as necessary, okay? Use the necessary safety tools and follow directions. Super important. So let's take a look at what you should have filled in on your sheet. During an investigation, you wanted to write the word materials. Work carefully with your materials. Tell your teacher about any accidents. Use necessary safety tools and follow directions. Super important. Again, if I'm going too fast, please just pause the video so you can copy down the words as they appear on the screen. Let's learn about after an investigation. Okay, so we want to carefully clean up all the materials according to the teacher's directions. And that will become even more important as you get older and you work with different kinds of substances, okay? You want to conserve. Conserve means not use as much. Conserve resources. And dispose of, which means get rid of. Dispose of materials carefully. So on your notes page, you should have written the words clean up, conserve, and dispose of. Okay, that's how we what we do after an investigation. All right, now let's talk about over here in this section. These are the safety questions. Let's talk about washing hands. Sometimes you will need to wash your hands after you finish a lab, before eating, or after touching living things. Now, of course, boys and girls, with coronavirus, we are washing our hands a lot more all the time. But this is just generally talking about if you were conducting an investigation. So you would say that you want to wash your hands before eating, and that's true with anything, especially during a science investigation. And it did say about living things, so we're going to say after touching an animal. Okay. Because an living thing doesn't make any sense. It's not grammatically correct. So we're just going to say an animal. All right, let's talk about goggles. I bet you probably already know the answer before we even read the slide. Safety goggles. Sometimes you need to wear goggles to protect your eyes. When do you think you should wear goggles? Think about that. When's the time when you think you should wear goggles? Well, we want to write on our safety question page, you should wear goggles when a solid, liquid, or gas might get in your eyes. If you've ever had anything get into your eye, you know it does not feel good. Okay, so we want to protect our eyes as best we can, and that would be by wearing goggles. And our last safety question is about gloves. Sometimes you need to wear gloves to protect your hands. When do you think you should wear gloves? Think about that. Maybe you've seen your parents wear gloves to do different jobs around the house. I know if I'm cleaning the bathroom and I'm using heavy-duty cleaners to clean the sink or the toilet or the shower, I like to wear gloves because sometimes the cleaner I use hurts my hand because of the chemicals. So I like to wear gloves then. So of course you should wear gloves when touching chemicals. That's the word, chemicals. All right, so let's see if you can get these right. What is the first thing you should do when you see science materials on the table? You've just come into class, we're about to do an experiment, and you see all these cool things on the desk. What do you think you should do? Do you think you should A, read the directions and then get started? B, wait for the teacher's directions? Or C, put them in the trash? What do you think? Take a guess. Let's see if you get this one right. I hope you do. It's B, wait for teacher's directions. Always, 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 please wait for the teacher directions. Because you might think you know what you're about to do, but it's best to just wait. Let's try one more. What should you do first if you break a glass beaker? Okay. Tell your teacher, clean it up with a broom, or pretend nothing happened. I'm hoping that was an easy one that all of you picked. Tell your teacher. Okay, we don't want you touching broken glass. You're not going to be in trouble. We just want to make sure everything gets cleaned up safely. Okay. All right, so now that we've completed our paper, your job is to cut it apart. There's a nice black line right down the whole page, and you can cut that apart. And then you need to get that notebook out of your green folder and a glue stick. And you're going to glue this side the safety questions, and on this side the notes, okay? And once you've completed that, you're ready to work on the Google slide about safety, lab safety. All right, boys and girls, thank you so much for paying attention and doing your best. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.